Welcome back, True Seeker. Just want to say congrats to the winners. It's another big future landed. We do a lot of them, and we've been doing it for going on a decade. Again, for all the people on the Patreon, I put out the notes for the World Cup before the tournament, and I said, this is easy. This is easy. The first ever World Cup in December, one day after Pope Francis' 86th birthday, when Argentina won the championship in 86 with Maradona. And look at what the World Cup is. Again, for people who don't know, Pope Francis is from Argentina. And his name is Pope Francis because he's the first Jesuit pope, and the Jesuits are from France. So Argentina defeats France, and like I pinpointed, if Argentina played France, they could send France to 2-2 in World Cup championships by defeating them, which is exactly what they just did. France just became 2-2 in championships in the year 2022. And this was the 22nd World Cup. And again, like we showed, you learn Gematria. Diego Maradona equals 107. This World Cup was set exactly 107 weeks after his death with the Argentina versus France match. Morocco also equals 107, who went out who was the Cinderella story, who went out against France in the semifinals. And, shout out to Seventh Denim and all the other big winners. Seventh Denim won $12,000 on taking my advice on the future for Argentina over France. Again, you guys, we're on a calendar system named after a Catholic pope. In Gematria, pope equals 52, thus the 52-week nonsensical year that we're on. And after Pope Francis became pope, the first World Cup was 2014. And remember what it was? It was Argentina versus Germany. The Argentinian Pope Francis replaced the German Pope Benedict. And for years, I've been showing you how sports championships are synced with the Pope. All roads lead to Rome, the Roman Colosseum. And there's so many other rituals. There's a pattern of World Cup star players winning the championship, signing with a certain team. Just happens to be the same team that Messi's with. It was the team that, the guy who sounds like he was the lost member of the Hanson band, Mbappe, was with for the last one. And again, you guys, this knowledge is so potent. This knowledge is so potent. And RIP to Grant Wall. I'm not just showing you guys how the world of sports is rigged and proving it day after day. Congrats to everyone who smashed on college basketball yesterday. We thought the two Jesuit schools who were both underdogs were Lock City to become 9-3, and one of them was a huge underdog. San Francisco upset as an 8.5-point underdog. Jesuit Gonzaga was a slight underdog who beat Alabama. Hold on, we're getting a phone call. I wasn't planning on taking phone calls, but let me see who it is. Maybe it's somebody who wants to talk about the rigging. 845.
Yeah, Argentina already won.
I know Argentina won. I predicted Argentina would win. That's what the stream's about that I'm doing right now.
Yeah, that's all. Okay, that's all I had to say.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, that guy was Rip Van Winkle. He just woke up. He just saw the headline. And by the way, in about 20 minutes, I'll be over on the Net Void YouTube channel. She wants to address the rumors that I'm an intelligence agent, which I am definitely not. I mean, you guys, it's amazing how many theories there are about me out there, just like how many BS. I mean, you guys, if I worked for the intelligence agencies, do you think they'd keep deleting my channel and shadow banning the channel? And do you think I'd have a million agents working against me all the time? I mean, again, common sense is lacking with a lot of people. And by the way, shout out to my friend Mo, who's the biggest football fan in the world, who we used to be good friends with, but back in 2013, like the rest of my friends, abandoned me. They all thought I had mental illness for starting to teach about this Gematria thing. Mo, if you end up watching this video, give your boy a call. You might want to get tuned into the knowledge. My man Mo, I call him Mo Millions because he's actually from Iran. He comes from big oil money. He's the only kid I knew growing up that lived in a mansion with a sauna and a big old pool. And a sweet lady actually looked up his Facebook the other day, and he's living in some huge mansion in LA now with pillars out front. So I don't think he needs money, but yeah, Mo used to be my boy. I was supposed to go to his wedding, but he disinvited me back then because he thought I lost my mind. Anyway, Mo, Come back to me, my man. And I wish all my friends would own up and say, you know what, Zach, I was wrong. You're not mentally ill. Just like you were always ahead of the curve. You know, we should have stayed out of the lane and took notes. But yeah, I know Mo was watching the World Cup and cheering for guys. Well, he's a huge Brazil fan. He used to always wear a Brazil t-shirt to school every day. Mo, don't you notice, man? I mean, Pele's on his deathbed in the World Cup. Brazil's an international headline for a mass shooting in the time of the World Cup. You don't see how ritualistic this stuff is? Mo, someone who could tell you in the world that I'm not an intelligence agent. He knows exactly who I am. But anyway, I did send him the link to the video. I said, Mo, you gotta tune in. And for all the people out there who won big, who follow the Patreon, like Seventh Denim, who won 12K on the future, if you guys want to come in and chime in for a little bit, I'm going to be gloating here for the next 15 minutes, and then I got to go over to the Net Void channel to do the interview. We got to see if I work for CIA or KJB or MI6 or whatever the latest rumor is. But here we got one person in the room, and I'm not sure who it is, but Glitch678, what do you want to say? What's up?
Hey, you just said that these games they correlate with the Pope. The Pope is from, where is he from originally?
Argentina.
I'm sure you know.
Argentina. That's why we had
what,
Argentina to win the World Cup.
Exactly. And what's his name?
His birth name, Jorge Mario Bergoglio or Pope Francis. Again, this is why I don't need you to come on and just repeat what the whole stream's about. This is why we had the future for Argentina to play France, the home of the Jesuits, as the first Jesuit Pope.
Yeah, and
right.
So
thanks, buddy. I'm going to get Seventh Denim on, who won 12,000. What's up, Seventh Denim?
Hey, what's going on, y'all? You
Congrats
can hear me good?
On the big W.
I appreciate it, boss. I appreciate it. Another good win as always. This is for the people watching on the stream. I had a 13 team parlay back when the Dolphins were playing the Steelers earlier this year, that if the Dolphins would have lost, I would have had 177K. So using Gematria and put me in a position to cash out early as the Dolphins were winning. So I cash out 20K. Then the Rockets and the Heat were playing on the same night that what was that? Offset was in Miami, Club 11.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I did a parlay with the Heat, who were underdogs, like 280, and then the Rockets, right? Because Takeoff died in Houston. I get them mixed up. Won 18 off of that, and then today 12.
You mean you won 18,000 off that? 18,000?
Yeah, 18,000. Yeah.
Man, you're about to be living in a mansion like my friend Mo.
Well, I mean, this is just betting advice. I've really had to take it as serious as I do like investing and trading. Just bankroll management. Don't get too greedy. If it's a good look, bet small, bet, I like parlays. That's at least where I get my hit. And it's just basic game knowledge.
You guys, there's like, I know you guys call it gambling, but really investing in the market is gambling. Anytime you're playing with money in a way, you're gambling. Like life's a gamble.
Right.
And I'm not trying to turn people into addicts, but people already gamble. I'm trying to show people how to make small investments that can turn into big piles of cash. And Seventh Denim, were you doing this before? Were you winning sums of money like this before you came across this knowledge?
No. The most I'd ever done for myself outside of just my job is I was trading some XRP. I was trading some cryptocurrency. I have a finance background, so I was able to get a good leg on that. But interestingly enough, I ran into some Gematria that allowed me to make profit off of that trade. So Waters Above Crypto, shout out to him. He does really good with the market Gematria. So that's kind of how and I only took 1,700 up to 7,500 on that. But there's been nothing as far as supplementary income.
That's really good.
Well, yeah, it's pretty good. But I mean, I can't get 1,800% returns in a night other than using Gematria to bet on sports. So. Sure.
And for the people out there listening, realize, I mean, you're not going to probably do this overnight. There are people who come in and like there's a guy last week, he said, man, I just got in here. I've already turned 50 into 2,500. That's times 50 your money. That's really good. But he probably also has good sports knowledge. The thing is, it's like anything. You study it. You find out what you're most comfortable with. And again, the nice thing about gambling is parlays, which are very hard to hit. But when you have this knowledge, they become a lot easier. You can multiply small sums of money into big sums of money. Did you hit last
Yeah.
week? Or did you take advantage of the Rockets Artemis 1 rituals that kept happening?
I didn't have my my Bovada, with cash on it to take advantage of that. But
Fair enough. You've been doing well either way.
well, yeah. But I do appreciate it. I try to, put people on as much as I can, especially those who have the aptitude to sports. But honestly, man, I can't thank you enough, just as far as the knowledge, but being able to make a tactile change in my own life based on this knowledge. I mean, it's night and day, night and day.
Indeed.
Like,
And for all the
I
people in the chat
appreciate
right
it.
now that say, show the proof, you guys.
Oh, dude, I have no problem. My
All right,
Instagram is
he
seven
doesn't have
denim.
a problem showing
My
you the proof.
Instagram is seven denim. Hit my Instagram DM. I'll send you all the screenshots.
There
I
you
have
go.
no problem doing
And
that.
again, but just all the people in the chat with that hater energy, like it's some kind of doubt. You guys, for 5 years, I put out this knowledge for free every day. It wasn't behind a Patreon wall, and I proved consistently nailing primetime football games like every time. I mean, my accuracy in the beginning was crazy high, and the reason it was higher years ago is because nobody was doing this back then.
Yeah, I really knew it.
Didn't have
And that 35 Thursday is crazy, man.
Yeah.
I get so pissed off every time. I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to fade it because I like this team better. 35 Thursday punches me in the mouth every single, probably, I wouldn't say every, out of 100 times, probably 90 times it'll punch you in the mouth. Like, there's just certain things that are just layup gimmies. But again, man, I'm going to get off. I could ramble all day, but I'm hyped. I got some bills I could pay off now. I'm actually getting ready to move. So this is
Save your money.
it's major, man.
Invest well. Keep it up, man.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
ever get greedy. Just stay on the path you're on. Way to go, Seven.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Man. Yeah. But just to address the people out in the chat with all the hater energy, prove it. You guys, we don't need to prove shit to you. Okay? If Google had not deleted my channel 5 million times, all the videos would still be up of the million correct calls that were out there for free. There's a reason I've been so deleted and censored. There's a reason the channel's now shadow banned. All of you haters are losers. Read my lips. You're losers. Okay? I charge $5 a month for what I should be charging a lot more for. Why do I charge $5 a month? Again, go to my Twitter page and read the post from Cousin Mar, who pounded payment with us in New York for the anniversary of 9/11. I do it for people like Cousin Mar. Cousin Mar was homeless when he found the knowledge, and he won so much that he's now no longer homeless. He has a home. He was able to reestablish himself, get a job. There's a lot of good stories like that in this community. There's a lot of people who've totally changed their life. All of you guys who are just straight up busters who can't invest $5 to find out, guess what? You're busters. You're losers. Okay? That's all you are. Okay? You guys are leaving comments like, put something out for free then. Last weekend, I told you, the Rockets would upset the Bucks in the latest Artemis 1 ritual on the day Paul Silas died, whose son is Steven Silas, who coaches the Rockets. You could have made a whole bunch of money off that because they were a major underdog. I put that out for free. Last year, as we approached Michael Jordan's birthday, I gave you guys 10 picks based on Jordan's birthday for free. They all hit. Okay? You guys sit here and ask for what I already do. All right? You guys are losers. All right? I don't want to help out swine. If you can't find $5 in your lint pile to try it out, you're just going to stay a hater on the sideline, doubting what I've been proving for a decade. You know how fat my resume is? You know? And a lot of you guys are listening to people who are nutcases. Like somebody just made a video about me being a snake oil salesman with the wackest decode in the history of the world. That person might have a mental illness. To call me a snake oil salesman is the exact opposite of the truth. You know? I charge $5 a month for an education on a subject that might be the greatest education you've ever gotten in anything. Okay? A lot of you guys can't wrap your mind around the obvious. You can't get over that pro sports are rigged. Your ego is so invested in the rigged sports game. You can't admit that you've been duped your whole life. Sorry. Sorry that your ego is so big that you can't admit the truth. Sorry that your intelligence isn't where it should be to see through the obviously rigged sports game. Pro sports are an embarrassment. They have been for all of my adult life. They have been for all of my life. They've just gotten a lot more embarrassing in the time I've been an adult. when I was a child, you didn't have anything as embarrassing as Tom Brady being the GOAT. Guy who has the body of a pre-puberty, adolescent and runs a 40 in about 40 seconds. All right, the guy's hanging around the room who wants to say something, but here, I'm going to put you back on, but you got to say something better than what you said last time because you came on and were asking me questions, which I already covered at the beginning of the stream. I don't like when people come on in the stream and don't know what's going on and then start. It's like, if you want to be on the stream and have your voice out there, have something intelligent to say. So I'm going to give you one more chance. Do you have something to add, Glitch?
Am I on?
Yeah. Well, what do you want to add to this stream?
No, you caught me off guard, but just something that stands out is the 33, as in Freemasonry and the old occult
Francis
knowledge.
plus 33 international dialing code. The Scottish Rite of Freemasonry came to power in France. The Scottish Rite of Freemasonry was created by the Jesuit order. Again, that's where the Jesuits are from as well, France. DC, our nation's capital, is the land of the Jesuits and the Scottish Rite, and it was laid out by the French Freemason Léon Font. So yeah, there's a big history with France and Masonry. Yeah, we did go to PKs on a 3-3 score.
Yeah, and anyone calling you a shill for $5 a month, I don't know, man. That's like 20 cents a day. It's not even 20 cents a day for 31 days. Yeah, man. If you can't risk $5 to eat,
Yeah, and again, for that $5, you get a lot of hard work and effort. I mean, I put in hours every single day. For all of the sports content I put out per month, that's over 100 hours of labor on my part. Where else can you go out and get somebody to do 100 hours of work for you for $5 in the year 2022? You'd think it was in the 1800s.
No, this is like your borderline charity work over here, bro.
And it is. And I am a charity worker. I once gave up a 6-figure salary to work in a group home and a teen homeless shelter and put myself back in school to work in a school system that doesn't pay anything. So that's who I am, a person of service, a worker, a teacher, somebody who tries to elevate other people. That's why I always give my platform and promote other people. Shout out to Mr. Futures, who's doing some of the best work in the business. Shout out to Script Unveiled, who's doing some of the best work in the business. Other people who say I don't give them their props, who deserve their props. It's like these people are insane. The reason I'm not talking about you is because your work's not that good and you're on your channel promoting your brand by saying you're better than me when you're not. Again, I promote people who deserve it, not clowns. Shout out to Nick. I believe Nick was also a winner today. Appreciate it, Nick. And
also,
one thing that does frustrate me, though, is you can tune into any of these clowns that YouTube promotes in the algorithm, the Tim Pools of the world who give out trash information, who keep people locked in the matrix. You tune in their live stream, they got like $50,000 in super chats per stream, and they're not saying anything. I'm giving you guys the dopest information, not to mention a bunch of people in this community just want a ton of money. Nobody tips in my community, hardly. I shouldn't say nobody, but almost nobody tips. And again, what would validate the work, too, for all these haters is if people are coming on just dropping tip after tip, which should be happening right now. But I still just stay doing the work hard, $5 a month. So again, for all the people that say I'm some kind of intelligence agent, no, the reality is I'm someone who probably does some of the most important work you've ever seen in the world at a rock bottom price and just keeps doing it, even though there's almost no glory in it. When I'm saying congrats to the winners, look at what happens to my public posts. You have all these haters and trolls fill up the comment section right away. You didn't predict anything. You didn't make any predictions today. Imagine how many comments would be filling up right now from the haters had Argentina not won. It'd be overload. But I guarantee you, they'll also be leaving comments, you never predicted Argentina, even though we clearly had Argentina versus France as the most likely matchup with Argentina winning, which is exactly what happened. So,
yeah, and I'll tell you right now, the best cappers in the world, these are like the top 10 cappers on the planet. They have a 2 to 3% ROI. So that is literally like 53. They win maybe 53% of their games. So I don't know what people
Here, I got to get off because I got to do another person's stream, but I'm so glad you just said that because that's 100% true. That means you're barely earning, but you are earning, and that's why those people pay. The best handicappers in the world earn a little bit more than they lose. So you're steady, slightly winning more, which is good for the gambling addict because it's better to win more than you lose. But look at the people in my community. They are winning big time because we're teaching something that is unprecedented. And that's the reason I don't win as high at a ratio as I used to 3-4 years ago, when people were still really doubting the work and I was building the resume and bringing all the disbelievers on board. But that's the downside of more people getting on board. It makes it a little bit harder to win. It makes it so those patterns that used to be 90% accurate are now only 70% accurate, which is still not bad. But again, you've never seen return on investment like what happens for people in this community. Does that mean everyone in this community wins? No. And the reason some people don't win in this community is because they're greedy. They come in and they win big, and then they get too confident, and then they bet too much, and all of a sudden they go from a net very positive to a net negative loss, and then they get extra greedy again because they want it all back, and then they get in an even bigger hole, and then they're writing me hate mail about how they're $50,000 in the hole, when I'm saying, whoa, that's because you had two bad days and bet $25,000 back to back, when I'm never advising to do that. I'm talking about betting $5, $10, $20 and trying to build up 100 a day until you have a big bankroll, and then you can afford to make like a $1,000 bet, like a Seventh Denim does, or a Johnny does. Again, risking $1,000 is risking $1,000. You should never risk that much unless you can afford to lose it. But you know what? When you built up your savings, now you can risk that $1,000 because you're playing with a lot of house money. So anyhow, congrats to the winners. I got to get off. I'm going to be on the Net Void channel, NET space VOID. It's interview time. Appreciate you, Glitch. Appreciate you, Seventh Denim. Appreciate all the winners. Thanks to everyone who supports the Patreon. Links in the description of every video, patreon.com/Zachary K. Hubbard. The future list keeps growing. It's a future list that you've never seen before in life, college to pro. And it's like last year, we told you, last World Cup, we told you why France would win. That whole stage story with the kids in the cave, that was French territory. It's a mockery, you guys. All right, you guys, Net Void. Until next time.
Easy.